Hello everyone, I am AJ. Welcome to my channel. Today, I will learn about the latest news about the US stock market and individual stocks with everyone. In today's video, we will first give a preview of the US stock market next week and see what key events will happen next week. In terms of individual stocks, let's talk about whether Parliament has returned as the king. Let me reveal to you that the OZA option trading I shared with members skyrocketed by 37 percentage points. Is Tesla about to take off? Can Nvidia continue to soar? If you are interested in such content, don't forget to move your finger, like, forward, or leave a message before watching the video. Firstly, let's follow the usual practice and look ahead to the key events that will happen in the US stock market next week. On Monday, new housing sales data was released. The current market expectation is basically consistent with the previous period, which was 627,000 sets, and the current market expectation is 630,000 sets, slightly more, without significant impact. On Tuesday, a monthly comparison of core durable goods orders will be released, and the current market expectation is that the growth rate will slow down from 0.2 percentage points to 0.1 percentage points. The Consumer Confidence Index of CB shows an increase from 97.2 to 98 compared to the previous period. On Thursday, the number of people who continued to apply for unemployment benefits and those who applied for unemployment for the first time were released. Currently, it shows that there will be a slow increase in the number of unemployed people per week, which is also an important reason for the Federal Reserve's decision to cut interest rates. In addition, Thursday is also a release of the core PCE price, which currently shows a stable level of 2.5 percentage points compared to the last time. This is also good news for the market. The market expectation for GDP is also to maintain stable growth of around 3 percentage points. On Friday, the inflation index becomes even more important. The PC price index has been released and currently shows a stable level of 0.3%. That the core PC price index also remains stable at 0.3%. These data will also continue to support the Federal Reserve's decision to cut interest rates. The Consumer Confidence Index in Michigan also remains stable at 58.6. Of course, next week is also an important earnings week. And as you can see from above the screen, there will be SMTC's financial report after Monday's closing, and I will keep an eye on it. I will pay attention to Okta, including PVH's financial report. After Tuesday's trading session, on Wednesday, there will be some consumer sectors, including pre-market cars and Amazon Comfy Fit financial reports, as well as post-market Five Below. These are all traditional consumer sectors, while the most important ones in artificial intelligence are Nvidia's post-market financial reports on Wednesday, as well as Snowflake's financial report and CrowdStrike's financial report. There are also many financial reports for various sectors on Thursday. Before Thursday's trading session, there are ideal reports for Chinese concept stocks such as Dow General, Best Buy, and Burlington-Dix in the consumer sector. After the trading session, there are also reports from several artificial intelligence companies such as MVL, Dow, and Confirm, as well as reports from Gap and Cosmetics Order. The financial report of Alibaba, a Chinese concept stock, is worth our attention on Friday. For Parliament, I would like to provide a detailed interpretation of the short-selling report by the short-selling institutions Sichuan on Parliament. Firsthand, it mainly refuted Sachin's comparison between Palantir and Databricks is very inappropriate. He specializes in needing self-persimmons, which cherry-picking thinks is a very inappropriate comparison. The second point is that Sichuan places too much emphasis on government contracts for Parliament and underestimates its recent high-speed growth in the business sector, thus underestimating the growth potential of Power Iron. Thirdly, based on Sichuan's historical records, I will share with you that Sichuan also shorted Tesla, which skyrocketed several times and directly hit Sichuan, causing Sichuan to close down for several years. Therefore, the main reason why Sichuan shorted Parliament now is that Parliament is one of the best rising stocks in the US stock market, which has skyrocketed many times. Therefore, they want to make a huge profit through this short selling. That's all. We have now returned to a technical level in Parliament, where we can see that after the short selling report came out, Parliament fell continuously for 12,345, or 6 trading days. However, last Wednesday, although it fell below the 60-day moving average from the technical level, we can see that the trading volume significantly increased, indicating that there were both sell and buy orders involved. As a result, it can be seen that the technical level of Parliament has taken a very long down line. After buying directly due to buying orders, Parliament's stock price was once again boosted. Finally, on Wednesday, Parliament's stock price closed at 158.7 for yuan, above the 60-day moving average. Then on Thursday, there was a slight sideways oscillation and a slight increase of 0.11 percentage points. If the market rebounds strongly on Friday, although it has fallen again within a day, we can see that it has dropped to around 151.85. There is still some distance to go before the 60-day moving average, which has already stopped falling, and then rose again, finally closing at 158.7 for yuan, with another increase of 1.6 percentage points. So, currently we can see that Parliament has been moving above the 60-day moving average for 3 consecutive days. So, there is already a sign that the 60-day moving average has stabilized. Of course, from the current technical form, there is still a pressure on the 5-day moving average above it, and this long upper lead also indicates that there is still some selling pressure above it. Because of the sharp drop in the technical level of Parliament recently, it has a certain inertia in the downward process. Therefore, this selling pressure still exists for the next week's Parliament trend. If it can rise again and stand above the 5-day moving average again, it will be a very good trend for Parliament's technical form from its fundamentals. I would like to share my perspective with everyone. In the long run, I also continue to have a positive outlook on the growth potential of Parliament. I believe that according to the short selling report by Safan, I personally think that the idea of Parliament plummeting to $40 is completely nonsense. Of course, this is just my personal opinion, and I'm not an investment advisor. Everyone should make their own judgment on Parliament based on their own research. As for Parliament, regular viewers know that I shared with my members at 16 yuan, 21 yuan, and 30 yuan that I opened a position to buy, and we have been holding investments in Parliament for a long time. Therefore, although we have recently experienced a sharp decline and correction, the opening and adding of positions from Friday's closing price of 158.7 for yuan have brought us returns of 10 times, 7.6 times, and 5 times respectively. I will continue to be long and bullish, though we know that the OSC Q2 2025 financial report for the US stock market has been released. In terms of growth, revenue mainly comes from the expansion of members and premium income. Although the performance in the second quarter was lower than market expectations, the company's emphasis on long-term positioning is still very good. In terms of challenges, the sharp increase in medical costs and market fluctuations have led to an expansion of its losses. But the management believes that this is a short-term market reset, and it is expected to return to profitability by 2026. In terms of outlook, he also reiterated the guidance for the whole year of 2025, focusing on cost control and membership growth. In general, I think that the US stock OSC will show strong revenue and member growth in the DIY quarter of 2025, but the high medical loss rate and the rising market incidence rate will lead to a significant profit pressure. The company actively responds to market challenges through repricing, cost optimization, and technology investment, and lays out long-term growth through strategic acquisitions and partnerships that in the short term. Profitability remains the main risk for OSC in the US stock market, but the company expects the market to stabilize and return to profitability by 2026. In addition, Berkshire Hathaway, also known as Buffett's company, disclosed in a filing submitted last Thursday that it had purchased approximately $1.6 billion worth of shares in United Healthcare. This has brought the long-awaited position of the entire industry. Old viewers should know that for OSCI, I shared with my members at 14 yuan that I bought a positive stock at the same time. We can see that I also shared with my members that I bought an option trading of OSCI after the financial report. OSCI's stock price fell again. But after not reaching the support level of 12.8 yuan below, there was a rebound movement. Subsequently, a 3-day consecutive rebound was initiated, with a slight dip reaching the 21-day moving average dot after receiving support. The rebound continued, and the market continued to rise for 3 consecutive days. So from the top of the screen, you can see that on August 19th, through technical analysis, I found that the entire OSC had technical risks in the short term. Therefore, on August 19th, we made a take-profit operation on all the OSCR options that we opened the position in at $7.5. So this option brought us a profit of 37%. Looking back now, the take-profit of this option was just right, because we know that by Wednesday, OSCR had experienced a sharp drop of 8.18 percentage points. So if we continue to hold on to this option until the next day, which is Wednesday, not only will it not make any money, but it may also result in a complete loss, with a high possibility of being cleared. Therefore, it can be seen from this that the risk of options is very high. If there is a sharp rise, you can get very huge profits. But at the same time, if there is a sharp drop, you will lose so much that you don't even have underwear. So the risk is very high. So comma for some novice audience friends, we must be cautious because this option is a high risk and high return operation. However, our OSA option was successfully traded, with a profit of 37%. Then we can see that on Friday, with the big rebound of the market, OSA surged by nearly 9 percentage points again. However, the volume below was not very large, and there was an upward breakthrough, which also broke through all moving averages. So we can see that we still hold the 14 yuan positive stock until Friday at 16 to 8. This part of the equity has also brought us a 20% return. As for OSCI, I continue to be optimistic about its development prospects in the entire insurance industry. Continue to go long on OSA, whether it's potential stocks like Palantir that skyrocket 10 times, 7.6 times, or 5 times in one go, or OSER's fast options that skyrocket by 37%. I rely on leading fundamental analysis to achieve value investing, coupled with precise technical analysis to seize the opportunity. In terms of Tesla's fundamentals, the all-new 6-seater Model YL was officially launched in China on August 18th, with a starting price of 339,000 yuan. The range is 751 kilometers, with a 0 to 100 km per hour acceleration of 4.5 seconds. It is equipped with ventilated seats in the front 2 rows, heated seats in the 3rd row, electrically folding seats in the rear 2 rows, and a 16-inch touchscreen, which is 0.6 inches larger than the standard version of the Model Y. This will increase Tesla's competitiveness in the Chinese electric vehicle market. In addition, there are rumors that Tesla's Model 3 and Model Y's latest version of FSD, which is fully autonomous driving, have been approved for release in China. However, currently there is no official certification mentioned, but at least it indicates that Tesla's fully autonomous driving is steadily advancing in China. And I think the most important news is that according to a report by the Wall Street Journal, Elon Musk has slowed down his plans to form a new political party, the Third Party, the United States, and is now considering it, collaborating with Vice President J.D. Vance to gain policy influence and continuing to focus on Tesla's business will further reduce political resistance for Tesla, including Elon Musk, which is very positive news for Tesla. Now let's return to Tesla's technical position. I have been sharing with you these 2 key support pressure levels. The support level is around 313. And the pressure level is around 336. Recently, Tesla has been oscillating horizontally within this range, and this week is no exception. We can see that on Wednesday, it briefly dropped, very close to the support level of 313. In the future, it was supported and then pulled up. Then on Friday, with the big rebound and rise of the US stock market, Tesla finally experienced a long-awaited strong yawn, with a surge of nearly 6.22 percentage points. In the future, once again breaking through the pressure level of 336, it will be crucial for Tesla's trend in the next week, because Friday's rise can be considered a small volume increase, because the trading volume on Friday was higher than the previous week. The trading volume for both weeks has increased also. From the perspective of trading volume, it's still good. So, next week, if Tesla can once again stand firm and maintain the support level of 33637 and continue to rebound, there will be a situation where Tesla's stock price takes off. Let's all wait and see. In terms of the fundamentals of Nvidia, China's internet regulators have required ByteDance, and Chinese companies such as Alibaba and Tencent have suspended the purchase of Nvidia chip H20 for security reasons. In addition, Nvidia has also notified its suppliers, such as Samsung Electronics, to suspend production of the H20 chip because Chinese authorities have raised national security concerns about the chip. In fact, on the other hand, I think it is also the performance of H20, which is not awesome. This has caused considerable pressure on Nvidia in this key growth market in China. However, Nvidia has already come up with a solution, which is to accelerate the development of compliant B308 chips. What's going on? Nvidia is developing the latest AI chip B308 based on the latest Blackwell architecture, specifically designed for the Chinese market. The expected performance is about half that of the flagship B300, but better than the current H20 chip. According to CNBC, Nvidia is in communication with the US government seeking approval to sell this latest chip to China. CEO Huang Rengson also stated that it is not yet clear whether the United States will approve, but emphasized that if Huawei does not provide American chips, it may dominate China's AI market. By agreeing to sell H20 chips to China previously, I believe it is highly likely that the US government will also agree. The sales of B308 chips also meet the performance requirements of the US government, while continuing to seize the Chinese market. This is a potential catalyst for Nvidia. Old viewers know that I bought it at 40 yuan and 70 yuan. And I shared with my members that buying Nvidia is a long-term investment that has been held until now. And the last time I shared with my members about adding positions was on May 9th. As you can see from above the screen, I also saw Nvidia's opportunity in the technical field again. On 116.2, I shared with my member that they have added a new position. After adding positions, we immediately welcomed a new round of surge in Nvidia. Although there was a slight decline, it opened up a continuous upward trend. Although there's been a recent decline, we can see that from May 9th to Friday's closing, the addition of positions from 1 to 16 has already brought us a 53% return. What everyone is concerned about is the next trend of Nvidia. We can see that this week, due to a pullback, on Wednesday, its lowest point reached the level of 168,169, and there was also buying activity involved. So a very long downtrend was pulled, and the final closing price was around 175 yuan. On Thursday, there was a slight correction, and on Friday, as the market surged, it also pulled a long yang at its lowest point. We can see that it hit 171 this time, and then it opened low and pulled up. In the end, after a significant increase of 1.7 percentage points, it returned to above the 5-day moving average. Of course, the most important thing about Nvidia's future trend is that it has an important financial report after Wednesday's trading session. Therefore, if I have time next week, I will also conduct a forward-looking analysis of Nvidia's financial report with everyone. So, please stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, hurry up and subscribe to my YouTube videos so that you can receive timely notifications of my latest videos. Okay, come on, this is today's video. If you like today's video, don't forget to like it. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video.